When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a teacher. Actually, when I was a little girl, I thought I already was a teacher. As an only child for 7 years, I had to get really creative with my entertainment. I would line up my stuffed animals up, classroom style, of course, and deliver the perfect lesson plans written up in crayons. I would even administer tests to my students. Those kindergarten prep workbooks surely came in handy. I was fascinated with teachers and their capacity to nurture each student and provide not only educational needs, but we had those special teachers that could deliver just the right touch of emotional need as well. Almost like these teachers had superpowers, abilities beyond those of ordinary people, like superheroes. According to Wikipedia, a superhero typically uses his or her, for the sake of this conversation, we'll say her. She uses her powers to help make the world a better place. There's another superhero who has had a major impact on my life, and I'm sure you had one as well. For you, it may have been a cousin, godmother, friend, who always had the right piece of advice or the on-time word of wisdom. Maybe a sister or an aunt who took on the role of guiding you through womanhood and setting the example of how to handle the ways of the world. Or maybe even your mother, the one who carried you in her womb and nurtured you into the vital part of this society that you are today. We all have or have had superheroes in our lives, those who have defied the odds to provide us with life and opportunity. Well, let me tell you about my two superheroes, Big Mama and Gramps, two absolutely phenomenal superheroes that, in my eyes, were the epitome of that role. Big Mama, providing delicious meals to the soldiers on the local military base camp. And Gramps, can you guess what her career was? You got it, teacher. Both of these women committed their lives to their families, selflessly giving, sacrificing, and pouring all of the little bit they had for the betterment of those they loved and cared about. Cooking the big family Sunday meals every day of the week or on request. Keeping the house clean despite the constant fullness of bodies and dirty clothes and dishes and anything else somebody with dirty fingers could get their hands on. Opening up her home, her heart, and her wallet to family, friends, and the neighborhood stray, who oftentimes didn't even see a dime of it back. Big Mama, protecting Big Daddy's street secrets to preserve the family name. Big Mama, putting her dreams and goals on hold to take care of the brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, and grandkids that came after her. Big Mama, the single mother, working multiple jobs to make ends meet. Big Mama never closed her doors or shut her heart out to those who were in and out of jail. The plight of the Black family fell on the shoulders of Big Mama. She covered up the bruises of her physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial pain by being our all and doing our all. Superhero, using special powers to help their world be a better place. I know this story all too well because I too thought I had to be her, giving literally all of myself to those I love, sacrificing my own mental and emotional stability for those around me to be well taken care of, killing myself softly to portray the perfect, keep it together image of family that Big Mama and Gramps created just for me. I don't know about you, but I was never sat down and explained how to maneuver this womanhood journey. It was like an on-the-job training experience, watching and observing how stressful situations were handled. That's how I developed my sense of unrealistic powers to get through. Now that I'm coming into my own definition of womanhood, it seems that I can't keep up. And I know I'm not alone. I've had conversations with friends who too are embracing and redefining their roles as wives, mothers, career women, simply establishing ourselves in this community. We face the realities that our superheroes have a kryptonite. But how did we miss it? Well, easy. As powerful as they were, our superheroes were equally graceful and poised, never mentioning, mumbling, or complaining about her pains and struggles. Never. Big Mama counted these opportunities as blessings, opportunities to do the Lord's work. But at what cost? That cost was my superhero's kryptonite. And I don't know about you, but personally speaking, I didn't truly appreciate Big Mama and Gramps' sacrifices until they were stricken with sickness, disease, illness, and in my case, death. I don't know about you, but personally speaking, I didn't truly appreciate Big Mama and Gramps' sacrifices until they were stricken with sickness, disease, illness, and in my case, death. Living up to the unrealistic roles and expectations killed them, and it's slowly killing us. Well, Nina, how do you know? Well, have you checked the Black maternal mortality rates lately? On the rise. Have you checked the number of Black mothers suffering from postpartum depression? On the rise. Or what about Black women diagnosed with high blood pressure, depression, and anxiety? Again, on the rise. It's time to face the facts, y'all. The facts of our past. It's time to do the research of our superheroes if they are no longer here. Why did they do what they did? What made them powerful? And how did they overcome their weaknesses? It's time now to have those hard conversations with your superhero if you still have her. Because if we don't, I'm afraid Big Mama's kryptonite is going to take us out as well. Kryptonite. Kryptonite. It's an element that has the power to deprive a superhero of her powers. But don't you fear, because as we continue to learn in that research about our superheroes, you and I have the power to live out their greatest mission, to love, to build and nurture community and family, to create opportunities that weren't there for us. My superheroes, they were advocates of Jesus, and that's it. They prayed about it and cried about it all throughout their sleepless nights. They waited on God to make it all right, because as you and I know, in the end, we will all be together in glory with no pain or sadness, only new life and joy. But for me, I'm a strong advocate of Jesus and therapy. I'm an advocate for seeking help through counseling, coaching, and any other mental health services available. Yes, the Lord does call us to seek Him and lay out our burdens, but He also tells us to dig a ditch and put in the work. That's in 2 Kings if you need a reference. For me, Putting in the work has been addressing the struggles and the stressors head on. Putting in the work is seeking therapy and utilizing the resources and the skills that God did place within us. My superheroes were willing to jeopardize their emotional, physical, and financial health for the sake of others. A day off? That meant tidying up what was missed during the week, or visiting the sick and shut-in of the church. Y'all know what that was like. There was no self-care. Me, I prioritized my self-care, not only by enjoying brunch with the girls, manis, petties, and vacation to the blue waters, but by meditating, exercising, and stopping to focus on my breathing in the middle of chaos. I set boundaries with myself and others. And with some work, I'm still learning to use no as a complete sentence. My superheroes live by the mantra, you know it, what happens in our house stays in our house. They didn't go out sharing and expressing the troubles of the family in the streets because that simply wasn't anyone else's business. Not me. I heal through community. I engage with others honestly and authentically. I listen and share experiences of struggle and success. It's not tarnishing the family's name. It's honoring my superhero's pain, purpose, and legacy. Now, when you have a great superhero, there's usually a sequel to come after. All sequels are faced with the challenge of living up to the original. But the beauty of the sequel is that it's never intended to replace the original. The sequel's purpose is to continue the elements of the original story as an advanced and healthier version. See, when the sequel is created, the original's kryptonite has been reviewed, restored, and enhanced. I could never even imagine replacing my two superheroes. To fill the shoes they left, would that require skills that are far beyond my capabilities? And honestly, I can't be here before you and pretend that I even have the willingness to do so. My superheroes fought, shed blood, and died so that I may have the opportunities that I have today. There is no replacing them. So as I close, I ask you, do you continue to strive to fulfill the role of your superhero? Or do you rise up and take your justful place as the sequel? Which do you choose? Me? I choose daily to be the sequel because I know I can still be a great superhero to the next generation, even if I'm not Big Mama. Thank you.